Hi, my name's Thomas Sheppard. It's currently about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm calling from Hamburg in Germany, where I'm sitting at the Petra 3 synchrotron radiation source. This is one of the places that I work. And I was asked to give a short introduction, I guess, and discussion of who I am and where I am and how I got here. So I'm happy to describe that to you. Yeah, so I'm a scientist by training. So I actually studied chemistry, and I'm currently working at a particle accelerator, which is basically a source of very high energy and high quality X-rays for doing different types of materials research. So the cool thing about this facility is that there's basically all kinds of people here. So biologists, chemists, physicists, engineers, material scientists. It's a place where a lot of different types of scientific research are done. Um, it's quite a special facility because there's only a few of these in the world. So I think probably less than 30 or 40 major sources. There's two in Germany, so I'm sitting in the National Research Center in Hamburg, which is called Petra 3. But you also have one a bit closer to home, just outside of Oxford, so there's the Diamond Light Source. Most of these facilities are doing a very similar job, so they're mainly based around producing X-rays, sometimes other types of radiation like infrared, ultraviolet. But as I said, yeah, you get all types of scientists coming to these places. The reason it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm still at work is because when you get an experiment here, it's basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 1 week of your life. So yeah, you don't get a lot of sleep, but you do have a lot of fun. So about my background, I grew up in Ballymena of all places, and I studied chemistry at Queen's. So first for the bachelor and master, and then for the PhD. So I did my studies in in pure chemistry, more specifically in catalysis, but we won't go into too much detail. So after I finished the PhD, that was 7 years at Queen's. I then took a postdoc position in Germany. So I've been here now for I think about 6 years, close to 6.5 years. So at the moment, I'm actually leading a small research group. So there's myself and three other PhD students, one postdoc, I think. As for what I'm trying to find out, my research is mostly based around X-ray imaging. So you're probably familiar with this from the hospital. Hopefully you haven't had to go there for this yourself, but if you ever have had an accident or something, you'll know that the doctors can quite nicely take pictures of your body without cutting you open, so of your bones mostly. But we can also use this to study many different types of materials and processes, so chemical processes. And this is what I'm mainly working on right now. And of course, we need a source of high energy X-rays to be able to do this kind of research, which is why my work takes me to many different synchrotrons and light sources around Europe. So I'm regularly working in 4 different countries, so including UK, Germany, France, Switzerland, and occasionally other places. So it's quite international and quite interesting. This is the kind of lifestyle you can have if you go for pure science. And how is this relevant to the real world? So these facilities are funded basically by governments. So the work that you do here has to be published, and it has to be more or less open access. So that means that we're studying systems that are important in real life. So for example, the pollution control systems in the back of every car, hopefully, if it's a new car at least. We're looking at ways to improve those and make those better. Also large-scale chemical synthesis, so synthesis of all types of solids, liquids, gases, chemical conversions. We're looking at materials that make these processes more efficient and more sustainable. So I'm working on a number of different topics, so automotive sector, energy sector, a lot of different things, really. And so from my experience of studying chemistry, I would say that I guess that probably you're at this point or close to this point deciding what you want to do at university, where you want to go. I can only tell you from my experience, which is studying science, that it gives you a lot of opportunities if you're willing to put the time in and do the work. So There's a couple of clear career paths. The first one is of course that many people study science and then become a teacher. So of course you need science teachers in school, of course. The other obvious career path is to go to industry and work for a company and hopefully make yourself a bit of money, especially if you're more into engineering or applied sciences. And the third path is then my path, which is the path of research and academia. This is the one that's most risky, let's say. Of course, if you want to become a teacher, there are always going to be schools. There are always going to be kids, of course. If you want to become an industrial researcher, there's always going to be the chemical industry and business. This is just a matter of life. But if you want to be a researcher, this is something a little bit more tricky. So there's not really a clear career path in that sense. But of course, it's important to say that if you're choosing a subject now, let's say you're choosing chemistry, or maybe you're thinking about doing another science, physics, biology, it's important to recognize that these fields are all interacting with each other. So you can expect to study, at least if you're in chemistry, you can expect to have to do a bit of biology, a lot of physics, a lot of maths, and it's the same for the other fields. They tell you this joke that if you study chemistry, it's all biology. If you study physics, it's all maths. This is basically true. So when you get to university, you'll find this for yourselves. So what it means is that basically you have to keep your mind open. You have to be able to explore new ideas, and there's no need to feel like your choice now defines you for the rest of your life, let's say. So I studied chemistry. That could have led to any number of different paths, but it led me to the path of a lot of international travel, a lot of international research. So going to conferences, going to different large-scale research centers, working with people from everything from hardcore theoretical physicists to computer scientists, data scientists, to biologists. There's a huge variety. So the options are really quite wide if you choose a science path. Of course, related to science is the engineering paths. These are a bit more well-defined, let's say. So if you want to be a chemical engineer, there will pretty much always be a job for you. So if that's what you want to do, you want to get a solid, consistent job and a good salary, and you are maybe not so willing to take the risk of going into academia and not finding yourself with a decent job after some years, engineering might be a solid option. But there, of course, it's very much applied. So there's not so much freedom to, invent new scientific pathways or to discover anything super groundbreaking, but you'll always have a solid, dependable job if you go for engineering. So this is certainly the case in chemical engineering, but also the case in, I guess, mechanical, electronic, even data science. This can be considered engineering nowadays. Yeah, so I guess to summarize, the point is that if you're now deciding what you want to study, what you want to do, don't feel like your choice now defines you for the rest of your career. There's obviously a lot of flexibility, especially if you're in science topics. So this includes also the natural sciences, but also computer science and data science. There's really a lot of things you can do. And the point is that you may not at the moment have an idea of where you want to go or what you want to do. You may just have a general feeling for it. This is totally okay at this stage of your life. As soon as you go to university, the options will open up. You'll learn about new opportunities. Yeah, so it's just a matter of working hard. Of course, there is that element to it. So study hard, work hard, enjoy your time at university as soon as Corona is behind us, of course. And yeah, I'd be very happy to discuss by video if we get the chance to do that. So that's bye from me. It's now almost 6 o'clock in the morning, but yeah, I hope you found this useful to you. So I'm standing here in the main hall of Ketra 3. I just want to give you a little quick look around. The whole facility is shaped like a big donut, so I hope you can see it. It's all circular and it's full of these big concrete blocks, and every one of those blocks is a different type of experiment. So basically inside this big donut There's electrons spinning around at about 97% the speed of light. Those are producing X-rays at different tangents along the ring, so in each of those big concrete blocks that you can see. And we're using these X-rays for all kinds of interesting experiments.